We're here.
Yes.
Hi, guys
All right.
and gals.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Motley crew this
Ty-
weekend.
Tyler!
Tyler's always looked like that.
Hello.
What do you mean? How nice that you've never noticed.
I don't see much of anything.
Oh, man.
He needs glasses.
The firing pin.
Now in widescreen.
Now diverse. Now we have. Is this a DEI stream now?
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
Okay. All right. Good. So you got here on merit.
Once we
You're
roll,
I
here.
chose.
Once we roll up,
Chose to be here.
once we roll up in a Tesla, that's when it's game over.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You've seen that? They've been burning like
There's
just,
an app.
just Tesla stuff to the ground
That's
now.
wild.
There's an app like a meetup on like
No,
where
so
the-
there's an app that somebody got the info of all Tesla owners, like their addresses,
Jeez.
their names, their numbers,
Jeez.
and there's a
Well,
map.
pass too, right? Like, so
Mhm.
you might
So-
not even have a Tesla
so
anymore.
there's a
You don't see
No,
Chevy
no,
doing that.
No, it's
Yeah.
only current owners. So it's an app that has.
so who
Tesla's
works for
on it.
Tesla that did that?
I don't know.
That's
And then the cursor is a Molotov cocktail,
Oh, jeez. Wow.
and like they won't take your info off until you show proof of sale that you got rid of
you
it.
got rid of it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that goes too far. I mean, some people just buy a car because that's the right move for them.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. Jim, hello. Yes, this is a great evening. What a nice couple of days it's been.
It's been amazing. It's been really
It's
nice.
been gorgeous.
We're supposed to snow next week.
Don't-
Something lame.
I already sharpened the snowshoes and put them away for the season.
Something about the cumulonimbus clouds are turning into.
I'll wait until the National Weather Service out of Buffalo
Hmm.
issues a thing. We'll see.
I'm gonna get Noah on the phone right now.
Just the weather alerts.
Today is the first day of spring.
Today?
So
No
spring has
way.
sprung.
Sprung,
No way.
indeed.
In like a lion? Out like a flying tiger? I don't know.
Yes.
Uh,
I still can't get over the fact that I can like see the road, people driving by.
It is strange. Yeah. And to be like, we have quite a vantage point here
Mhm.
up on the hill. It's kind of nice. It's kind of
King of
nice.
the Castle.
Yeah. We are testing. I don't know if it's working. I don't know if you can hear our
Oh, yeah, we're
voices
outside
out there. Yeah, we have. There's no one here, but we have our voices like piped through the whole store and outside. So I apologize to anyone still in the parking lot. They can hear our voices. Yes,
Town
yeah.
of Virgin,
Which-
Any of the houses on Parkview.
Rochester
It does travel.
Street.
The noise does travel.
We were playing some music last night, and I was like, "This might be a little loud for." I mean, it's what 7:30. Like, it's not like it's
Yeah, the
10
town.
o'clock
Is
at
there a
night.
town ordinance?
Probably 9 or 10, I would think.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
think
most
it is
towns
10.
are.
Like that's like the park.
Yeah. The firing pin. That's who we are. This is the firing pin live
We had a fire once.
stream, and we are so close. I can't like.
It's like
I can't
98.6%.
Oh my
of the
gosh!
way.
There's just so few things left. This room's actually, other than getting the door on, this room's pretty buttoned
pretty
up.
much good to go. Just a little bit more pictures, maybe more
Yeah.
Art.
that.
Objects to art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More
What would you
dollar.
point at? Plants? More plants?
No, the Goodwill
Yes.
find.
The one.
The Rembrandt. Our Rembrandt.
The one. It's going to turn out it is like
Yeah,
some,
we're like, who's this Rembrandt?
some like actual. It's like out an antiques road show.
But leading up, how can people help with getting us closer?
We do have a crowdfund
Yeah.
going right now, and it's on our website.
Kind of a teaser with why we decided to put our voices around, because we're closed to the public. But if you're a member,
Ooh.
an hour before and an hour after, you can listen to our sweet, sultry voices
I
online.
heard that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was. Ooh.
Shivers, chills. Yeah, so we're open. We've said it once. We'll say it 1,000 more times. Members' hours are not just to shoot. You can hang out. You can come see us, ask questions that maybe you think are silly and you don't want to be around other people when you ask it. There's who knows what our favorite color is. Mine is green.
Dude, same. Hence, the framed artwork.
I was gonna say hence money. Yeah.
That's the real. I had a meeting with a couple of people from M&T Bank today, and they were laughing about that. Like, oh, you guys will appreciate this. And they were laughing about how, like, yeah, face value, that's like $64, but when you buy that from the mint, it's like double that
Yep.
almost. And then to get that framed was like, I don't even want to say how much I spent to frame that because it's double sided, so I can turn it around if I want to. So to pay for
it sucks because
two pieces
it
of
looks
glass.
cooler on one side.
It really does.
It's like it's double sided, but you definitely are looking
the frame.
At,
There was a good side and a B side for sure.
It's kind of like me when you look to the left or right.
We should
Come
hang it in the
on.
middle.
So what?
So we can walk around it.
You're telling me that you can. So
I don't think you can do that.
Gonna be a lot of that
Oh
today.
wow! Yeah, yeah.
We're actually equal amounts in this room right now.
Have you seen any of the Shane Gillis Saturday Night Live stuff that he's
his
done?
newest one,
Yeah, the one that he just did.
the have a beer, the painkiller one, or which one?
That was a great one. And then where he's playing like the game show where he's like, "Oh, I know a lot about history," and then like any of the black figures that he brings up, he's like, "I don't know who that is."
Yeah.
Like,
He went from 0 to hero. Not
pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy. Yeah, yeah. And
they realized they couldn't cancel him, so they said, "Well, shit, let's invite him again."
all right, bring him on.
Have you seen a show, Tires? Have you watched that yet?
I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen
Okay.
the whole thing.
There's
Yeah, it looks
another.
very
They're
funny.
doing another season. Maria and I we binged it in like a couple hours. It's
Yeah.
like they're like 20, 30-minute segments. It's like nothing crazy. It's like they're coming back to that Comedy Central,
Sure.
like kind of
Just
like
variety shows or just like funny
bullshit
shows.
kind of quick stuff.
I love it. I love it. Freedom Weekend. We've got Freedom Weekend coming up fast.
FR24 or FW25.
It's
I
crazy.
guess they're spelling it.
Crazy. That'll be our 11th Freedom Weekend that we've
And-
done.
Fingers crossed, but definitely there should be no reason. That'll be our grand reopening.
Yeah, that is right now tentatively the grand reopening for the shop. We're very excited. June 21st and 22nd.
Yep.
We're actually planning
Still a Saturday and Sunday, but-
it's very tentative right now, but we're planning a ribbon cutting on Friday. Actually.
Kick us
And
off.
little opening ceremonies fit for the Olympics. I think it'll be something similar. We'll have
I'll be in a toga
an
with
interpretive dance. Yeah,
not fire though. There will be no fire.
no torches.
It'll
Yeah,
be what's the fake camping
It'll
thing
be-
where you flip on the fan? It's like,
that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
You toss it and then just like 10 of those things going to make like a big one. Hello, Marianne. Marianne, go outside on your front porch and see if you can hear us
Yeah, can you-
outside. Oh my gosh, that would be awkward if that's true. I don't want that.
What is it? The Willem Dafoe? God.
We'll turn the outside speakers off at least.
We got to get
So-
big scissors.
That's
So
so they
that's-
provide it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
really?
we're members of the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce. That's one of the perks of membership. Yeah,
Ah.
is for your grand opening or any opening of a store.
But Genesee County, you guys are really great to us.
They have big scissors too, so I'm not I don't think you
Are
can.
they
I don't think we can do that.
careful, SpongeBob?
Well, I didn't say it. I just showed it, so it's different.
We'll fix that in
It's
post.
fine. We'll blur it. It'll be like it's in Japan. Just blur it real
You
quick.
can't tell what I'm doing.
You don't know.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we've been making a lot of progress. Took advantage of the nice weather we've had lately. We've kind of finished up the front of the building. We got the gutters on, we got the downspouts on, which man, we were stressing about that. We were
The
stressing
gutters or the downspouts are both.
Just that hole, because it was like we'd called around and we'd tried to find someone
Everyone
just to
said,
take that off our
"Hell
plate.
no."
Yeah, and they were like, I'll do residential stuff, but I don't do commercial ones. Don't do them, don't touch them. And we just kind of kept like, all right, we'll put that off. We'll put that off later. And then finally it was just like, all right, it's gonna be 70 tomorrow. Like we have to do it.
Yeah.
And so
And the weather's only going to get
mhm.
like wetter. As
Right, it'll be
spring comes,
harder.
yeah.
And then like we were very fortunate. A friend of ours, Marty Dilcher, let us borrow a lift of his, so that makes it so much easier. So we're like, all right, we got to do this. So yeah, we basically just went around the backside and looked at how the other side of the building was done, and we were like, all right, well, like they did this, and then they did that, and let's do it. And we just
paste.
so we just went for it, and it worked out. And now, we don't get wet when you walk in the building anymore. You don't
Right
get
in
dripped
time.
on.
It's definitely a perk.
Yeah.
We've got the handles on. I think if you saw our post, we got the front doors,
The Garandals.
the
Yeah.
Garandals. I had several people reach out asking, like, hey, I need a set of those. Like, where did you get those? And I was like, well, we custom made them. And then they were like, well, how much? Like, I need a set. And I was like, you're talking like probably like $1,500. Like, and
And
that was
labor.
like that was
And
like calling in favors. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was like for a one-off. But I don't know. We're getting there.
Bring us $1,000.
We're
We'll cut
getting
it
there.
off for you.
Yeah.
We're done.
What what else we got going on?
Man, we're finally getting into like that normal pistol permit classes, which is nice. We got all of the part 3 people pretty much finishing up this weekend.
Nice.
So that's cool. A little extra workload off of the shoulders of a lot of the instructions, the instructors.
And everybody. I mean, you guys have been getting tons of phone calls. You've been getting tons of emails and just.
Which is great. I mean, keep them coming. I mean, we have pistol permit classes once or twice a month. We can put a link in the comments if you have any questions about that, or if you don't.
I feel like we did a year's worth of
people. We're right up to December. Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Like
for
when we
Kodak.
did the class at the Kodak Center.
Yes. Yeah. What was I think the final number was just under 1,000.
988.
Yeah. So just under by a couple 2-3, but
that works. It was good. It was just good to see that safety. And obviously I know it's something that people are required to do now, but that safety was that important to that many people that they were actually interested in getting their permits. Like,
we're out to do this as a service to you. Yes, there is money behind it because there has to be. I mean, nothing to Tins Toffel. There's no such thing as a free lunch, and there really can't be anymore. Tins Toffel.
You don't know that?
Micro, macro economics.
I have a stroke.
Tins Toffel. There's no such thing. Did you do economics?
That's toast.
Regardless,
making toast.
I'm a business major.
Yeah. I have my degree on my fridge. A couple people I saw, rightfully so. I mean, when you see something that no one wants to do and there's money behind it, it definitely seems like we're doing this because we're just trying to money grab. We're not. We tried to get this as cheap as possible. Not as less expensive. I hate the word cheap because it means it's not as good, but
It's affordable.
Unfortunately, there has to be people that need to be paid, and we're not looking to make money, but we're definitely looking to get as many people out there. I mean, you should want to do it more. If they force you to do something, you should want to do it times 2 because fuck you, Mom. I don't want to do it, or Dad, or whoever. I was happy with the amount of people that came out because they may not have come out otherwise.
Right. And I think the venue helped, having it in the city of Rochester. Like we tried to make it as affordable as we could for the people that need it the most, and the access and just being able to do it. I think it's just neat that we were able to do it in a venue like that we were able to negotiate a deal with that's a national touring.
And it's like, in a way, kind of full circle with yes, they're known for film, but they've done other stuff for the shooting sports industry.
Sure.
And it's kind of a whole one circle around that, it kind of comes back. And I don't know. It was always cool growing up going to shows. Never thinking he'd be part of a show that we're never going to have a poster on, but that's fine. Whatever.
To see that acts that had been there, any national pretty much touring act, Taylor Swift doesn't go there, but but
you're standing on a stage where people have watched the first print of Casablanca, or you've seen John Mellencamp play. We're in the same area, which I don't know. It's not like a pat on our back. It's just
pretty cool.
It's just cool to
it was
never
cool.
would think that you'd have that opportunity.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Virgin.
Yeah.
Boys are back in town.
Phil says we live in New York. We have to be cheap, and it's not about being cheap. It's called being cost effective.
It's like I said. It's exactly it. It's just not. I never say, "What are you trying to get that's cheap?" Or someone says, "I need something cheap." I'd be like, "You mean something affordable?"
Yes,
because cheap and affordable are not exclusive.
Marianne says she knows someone that went to the class and said that it was worth the money and very informative.
Yeah.
Obviously with 1,000 people, there's going to be some complaints. There's going to be some issues, but literally 99.9% of the people that came there were awesome, and they only had nice things to say. And I thought we did a really good job. I think even that class, with all of its obstacles, just with the amount of people and whatnot, I think even that class with all of its obstacles
Logistically,
was
yeah.
better, than a lot of other training in the area. Not to speak, not to like that we're better than anybody, but I just think we have a really good team, and we had done it once before, but we changed up a lot of things.
Yep.
Like it was kind of like doing it all over again for the first time.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We changed so many things.
Yeah, throw the first time we ever did it out the window.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah, compared to this, it was vastly different, and it went really well. I was doing a part 3. This was back in February, and a couple came up to me and they were like, "Hey, we run like medical seminars, and we'll have like 200 or 300 participants, and we don't know how you did this, like with 1,000. Like, kudos to you guys." And it was like, well, I mean, a lot of that did come down to the Codex Center's staff and layout, and just the way they know what they're doing. Like they get events like that all the time.
Arms Preservation Inc. Your guns have 2 enemies, politicians and rust. We can't do much about politicians, but Arms Preservation Inc. has rust covered. API storage bags are designed to protect your firearms, ammunition, and other valuables for up to 10 years. No oils, no grease, just real protection. Unlike those cheap single-layer bags that barely last 2 or 3 years, API uses 4mm thick, dual-layer barriers that block moisture and the elements while releasing vapor corrosion inhibiting technology to create a one-of-a-kind microenvironment inside their bag, protecting your precious investments. Personally, I completely trust them. Every ammo can I use is lined with an API bag. The best part, these bags are made right here locally in Rochester with American source materials and American labor. So you're not just protecting your guns, you're supporting a quality craftsmanship and company that keeps its roots in the US while supporting your Second Amendment rights. Your guns and collectibles are valuable. Protect your investments with API. Get the best long-term firearm storage bags at apistoragebags.com or pick them up in person locally at the firing pin. Now back to the show.
Yeah, it's nothing to them, so they can like give us pointers and like kind of show us. But
we are, I don't know what the word is. We're not like itching to do another one right away. I think if we did another one, it would be even different than the first 2.
We're not saying we're never going to do something like that ever again, but we're also not saying that we're not going to do one in the future. It just might be years in the future, potentially.
Yeah. Or we might just do like a generic gun safety day where there's no like, this isn't going to count towards your pistol permit. This isn't going to count really, I don't want to say towards anything, but it's just
informational.
Yeah. Kind of returning to the roots of the idea of just here's gun safety for the community.
A field day or a clinic, I guess, for lack of better words.
That would be cool to do, almost like just an open house, like a learning symposium where we're just there and people come up to us with their questions.
In a way, we sort of did that, which I'd like to do again with the recruitment night.
Yes.
Where we had all of the local clubs and shooting sports teams and stuff like that came in. People that are watching right now, the thousands of you, thank you, that are watching us, might remember it a few years. No, actually, now we're almost like probably 5 years.
Probably. It's been a while.
This was in the old shop well before COVID.
Before me.
For you, yeah.
You were just a little glimmer.
Yep.
5 years ago. But yeah, no, I'm all for it. We're digressing in a way, but yeah. If you know anyone that is itching to get their pistol permit or not itching to get their pistol permit, so slap them on the butt and tell them to come to us, and we'd love to help you out. Or if wife, husband, one of you has your permit, or you have family, and maybe you're not even looking to get it as like a defensive tool, but you have a family member that has a bunch of handguns and you're not sure what's going to happen if God forbid they pass away. There's more to it than just having it as a tool. And
we live in New York. The laws change all the time.
Every single day.
Tons of stuff that's different.
Because that proverbial chipping away. Yeah.
Did we hear anything about that case in New York City? There was a challenge.
I didn't hear you. You and I were talking about that the other day.
The gentleman came in today asking us about that.
Yeah, I am not prepared for that. I honestly have spaced that, so that's my fault. If anyone knows in the comments, the 1,000+ of you,
tons of.
I guess the court denied their request.
It was denied the request, or
that's just the. Yeah, I don't see anything. there's no recent articles posted. I'll have to see if I can find it. Wasn't that GOA
Yeah.
that was doing that one?
Yeah, it was.
Oba.
GOA and then was it NYSERPA? Did NYSERPA have anything?
But yeah, quick shout out to Gun Owners of America and Firearms Policy Coalition.
Mhm.
Those are two of the best gun rights groups to support, especially here in New York. NYSERPA is good. New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, they're also good. And
Same with Scope.
yeah,
Let's-
I hate to
it's-
never.
Yeah, like we're not bashing or anything like that. It is. It could be better. It could be worse,
Mhm.
but it's local, and if you want it to be better, join, help them out, give them some pointers, point them in the direction of GOA. Maybe they can collab, stuff like that. So it starts with you. It starts locally, and you can get bigger with it.
Yeah,
So,
we really, I mean, a lot of you will remember 10 years ago, well, 12 years ago now, when the SAFE Act came out, everybody had those yard signs out in their yard,
Mhm.
like repeal the SAFE Act.
I still see them.
I'm against the
Yep.
SAFE Act. They're still out
I
there.
still see 'em.
Yeah. I have one like hanging up in my garage that's still like ready to go back out there
Yeah.
at some point. But that is the problem as gun owners in New York is we don't really have a united front. We were kind of split up between Scope and NYSERPA, and there's just not a lot of activism for the younger crowd. I think
Mhm.
we need to do better on that, which I'm glad that we were able to bring FPC up here a couple Freedom Weekends ago
Oh, sure.
to try to push that, or try to just push that along that, like, yes, the Second Amendment is alive in New York. There are young people that want to be involved.
And
Like, we just need,
They helped.
we need the tools. And
we had Brett on. I mean, they help locally. Like they do
Absolutely.
stuff for the state.
there have
Like,
been
there-
wins.
There
Yeah.
is factual evidence that it works.
Have you seen New York's argument for a lot of their Concealed Carry Improvement Act stuff?
I've seen some of it.
So
but-
they're basing it on the argument that basically, like, when we first wrote our original gun laws,
Mhm.
they were literally as racist as possible. Like, we don't want Native Americans to be able to have firearms.
Italians,
We
the
don't
Americans,
want,
the Irish,
like,
everyone.
freed slaves.
Yep.
Yeah, like all of those. Like, even going back to like 1700s.
True,
like,
yeah,
way
like,
back.
We gave them guns.
They
and
were
we can't give them.
very racist and
Yeah.
classist. If you weren't a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant landowning male,
The wasps.
you weren't allowed to own firearms, basically. And so New York is like, well, we have a long history of restricting rights. And that's what they're citing is like
Jeez.
literally like
That's
like
crazy.
black
Let's keep-
codes.
let's
is what they were
keep
calling
going.
them. Yeah.
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 Wow.
It's like, well, I don't think that's going to hold up too well.
No.
Like,
No.
one, because it's just wrong.
Bringing
and then
back,
two,
bringing
like,
back the Pinkertons and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
oh man, I just don't see how it really it sucks that it comes down to money and that it costs us 2, maybe even 3 times by the time you really think about it, because we had to pay our Congress people, their lawyers, their staff to write these bills, right?
Mhm.
To push this legislation through. And then we have to hire on our side with our own money. We have to fund lawsuits to help
Mhm.
fight those bills.
Mhm.
And then the government hires their own lawyers that we have to fund through our taxes to fight against our own rights that we're trying to secure back from the government that was never really allowed to take them away in the first place.
Mhm.
I mean, it is an interesting, I think we're going to see some court cases come through eventually. The way things keep going, I think we will see some federal Supreme Court cases regarding that true, like, Jason, why do we have the Second Amendment?
Like, why was it?
Why do we have the Second Amendment? Yeah. Like, what is its true purpose?
To stand together as a state against the federal government?
To stand against the corrupt, yes,
Right.
and tyrannical, like if King
Tyrannical
George
government.
2.0 comes back, right? And I think, like, yes, for the past maybe 15 to 20 years since the Heller decision, well, it's been 15 since the Heller decision. It's all been about the individual right,
Mhm.
which is also true. Like,
Mhm.
yes, we have an individual right to bear arms, but I think it's going to come back around that, like, oh yeah, we have that individual right to bear arms against the government that's not listening to us,
Mhm.
and when they try to squash that, it's just this, snowball effect. And Phil, never. I will never run for any public office because I like being alive and not suicided twice in the back of the head, thrown out an airplane.
Or a brainworm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't need it. Don't need it.
I like where this is going because an article that I found.
Oh, homework.
Yes. So if you are a product of your household, right? So if you were raised in a certain mindset, you're going to want potentially your children, and everyone to have that mindset. So if you were potentially raised in fear, you will potentially have that fear. And there's also the fear of the unknown. And if you don't know it, that means you might potentially get angry at it. So Yoda said, what? Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. And then we're in hate right now. And what leads with hate is suffering. So if you start youth, because we're saying that this older mindset and everything is still there. And if you have your children that are now getting raised in whatever this hellscape that we're in now,
Sure.
Arkansas started to say, well, let's start with the youth, which is what we're doing now, and maybe a negative mindset with all the stuff that's being thrown in. Pittsburgh's getting a lot of, shit on with a lot of their things. But Arkansas is now requiring, it's a bill that requires, but only with the parents' consent, to teach firearm safety in schools and out of school. So to see something, say something. What do you do if you find something? What do you not do if you find something? Stuff like that. So this is a bill that was presented this month, actually, that they're trying to do a program probably towards the end of 25 into 26 and so on and so forth, where it's going to be in school, kind of like a gym session. There's no physical firearms. They're just kind of going over like what you do. And then they're going to be doing out of school seminars with actual live fire and like teaching how to unload and load
Super
if you
cool.
find something. So kind of a segue, but just as a whole,
Yeah.
we're going to get older and the youth are going to like, that's the future. Children are our future and will always be our future. So
Absolutely.
I really, really like how Arkansas is kind of going for it, which is really nice. They're teaming up with the actual Department of Education in their state is like on board with it.
That's
which is
super
actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen the explosion of youth shooting sports across the entire country, but for sure in our area, I mean, it seems like almost every school now has a trap shooting team.
Mhm.
A lot of them are getting rifle shooting teams.
And they're used way back. I remember because I graduated from Caledonia. The rifle lanes were, if I can remember correctly, were still there. They filled it in with other stuff, but there was like little 22 and air rifle. Like that was a thing.
I have 2 NRA marksmanship badges that my dad earned in the basement of Alexander, when he went there in the 60s.
Alexander's coming back. They're doing their pellet.
I went to a match that was held. It was so weird. Like I hadn't been back to my high school probably in a good 10 years, right? So I'm walking around and like I got my wife and my kids, and it's just like such a surreal experience. And yeah, we walk into the cafeteria. I was like, man, I ate lunch here for 6 years or whatever every day, and now they have like a canvas backstop and they're shooting pellet rifles in here, like Olympic marksmanship style. I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I took a picture of like, there's multiple ways to get into the cafeteria, and they have all of them closed off except for one, and they have like rifle range, keep out, like that's hung on the signs outside the cafeteria. And I was like, that's wild. Like, especially in New York. Any other state, it would be less crazy, but it's huge. And I think that is the future. And we need to encourage that. And I think that obviously just like sex education, I think the more education, that we can give to the most amount.
I hate forced education, but I am still for education because that's how you learn.
I'm against like the pistol permit mandate where the government is requiring you to take this class, but they're not offering it at no cost.
Correct.
Or free. Like the government should be like the city of Rochester should be putting on a pistol permit class like once a month at Rundell Library, like for free, just for people that cannot afford it. Like they should be doing that. Some counties do. Livingston County puts one on for what is it, like $100 maybe? Which is that's about the cheapest you're ever going to find.
The sheriff's department puts it on.
Yeah, but even that, they do it like once a quarter, I feel like, and it fills up right away. You know,
Sure.
it's very hard to get into that. But yeah, that's where that's why I love these, you know, this bill from Arkansas. Like, hey, if we can get, even if you're anti-gun, they exist. Like, you can be anti-car. Like, we're not going to ride a car. Like, we're only going to ride bicycles. Like, we're going to do that.
Sure.
That's fine. I applaud that. But you should still teach your kids, like, look both ways before you cross the street and, like,
Right.
car safety stuff.
This exists.
Yes.
Like
There's hundreds of millions of
whether
these
you want to
items
be blind to
in
it or
our
not,
country.
like, yeah,
Right.
and that's why, again, I really appreciate, because they know that. And I
Mhm.
mean, Arkansas is. I'm not surprised that Arkansas.
Sure.
Like, that's. But yeah, rock and roll.
There's another bill about your cousin, but we won't get into that in this stream.
Bill v. Bill.
Bill.
They keep it in the family bill.
Arkansas, we know you're watching. We love you.
Arkansas.
Family circle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, I don't know who the governor is, but like the governor of Arkansas just like broke their glass, like squeezing it so hard. Like,
I have a sense of disturbance.
Phil, the ammo background check mandate is, it won't show me the emojis, but I'm assuming one of them's a bull and then one of them's a poopy emoji. But yeah, I agree. And I think even worse is the ammo log. Like, we not only have to do a background check on you to buy a single box of 22 or any, literally one bullet. We want to sell you a Lucy off the counter. Like, we have to do a
Nails.
background check. Yeah.
22.
Yeah, you go to Home Depot and buy pass loads, right? Don't you have to do a background check
Yeah,
on those?
I don't even know if they.
I don't. I
Maybe
still-
they pulled
I
those off the
still
shelf.
think they just pulled
Maybe
it,
not,
yeah.
because those
Yeah.
aren't projectiles.
No, some
Have to
just
find
pulled
those
them.
out.
'cause
That's crazy.
You do have to run one.
Yeah, and now there is a log of every time you buy ammo. We have to log it. The state police can come in at any time and inspect that.
Mhm.
And I just such an onerous overreach, you know, like, could you imagine if the gas stations had to log every time you bought gasoline? Or like if Facebook had to report to the government every time you made a comment, and now they can sort like, oh wow, this guy comments a lot about this or whatever, and now
Right.
we're gonna watch his speech. Like, it's a slippery slope that I'm afraid most people don't see. I mean, obviously people that are probably listening to this or watching this see it,
Sure.
but yeah,
Sometimes the tinfoil hat just makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
Like, imagine getting red flagged for buying a lighter.
right, yeah. There was something big with the red flags that had changed too, I thought.
You can only. I remember this was
House
like
rule.
almost a year ago. You can only submit so many in
Oh.
a calendar year, and I think you have to. Like, it doesn't immediately go through. Like, you're talking like if you do a red flag or if you get red flagged.
I think the change I'm thinking of is it used to be like an individual officer was the only one that was allowed to, like, officer shows up at the scene, something happens, that officer, because of what they observed, could file a red flag. Like, I saw this guy make a threat against his wife or me
Sure.
or whoever, so I can do it. Now they changed it so that like a department can do it. And I think why that's scary, we've talked about it a couple times on the stream before, the town of Greece. There was a guy in the town of Greece that was talking out about his taxes. And then
Sure. And
they,
then
as a
huge
like
harassment.
town,
Yeah.
they were like tracking his car. He found like multiple GPS trackers that were like illegally placed to surveil him.
Right.
And so now you've got, you know,
Harassment,
it's just
yeah.
another lever that the government can pull to control you. Like our friend that we were talking about a couple streams ago that got really jammed up for trolling online, right? I think maybe last stream, Tyler and I were talking about
Okay.
this.
Gotcha.
You know, this kid was online trolling people. Unfortunately, stupidly, was using his real name and kept pushing that button, and someone finally pushed back, and they exploited that red flag loophole, I'll call it, where you can just anonymously call somebody in and say, yeah, I'm talking to this guy online and he's got guns and he's saying this and that and the other thing. And then it's been thousands of dollars for our buddy and the loss of reputation and the loss of his job, I think, and just this, that, and the other thing for nothing, for absolutely nothing. I mean, his life, I don't want to say it was ruined, but it was set back a couple of years.
It was put on
probably.
pause.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. And who knows what other future potential issues that could come up
Right.
from nothing. It's future crime. It's thought crime, minority report
Yeah.
type stuff.
Thought crime.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders is governor of Arkansas. I don't know how you guys didn't know that. commenters.
Why does that just sound like Arkansas?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yep.
Yep.
Sarah, right?
Yeah.
She sounds like a sweetheart.
I think you should
Praise
go
down.
back to Greenbow, Alabama.
It's a different state, but yeah.
Praise
Are there any questiones?
John says good evening.
How are you able to read through those thousands of people that are keep?
It's tough. Yeah,
It's so fast.
I had experience, dude. That's how it was at the class at the Kodak Center.
Yeah.
Oh
we
my
would
gosh,
have people
yeah.
text like I would
Zipping
go
in.
through. They'd be like, "Oh, there's 25 texts." I'd go
Refresh
through.
the page.
I'd be answering them.
Oh, there's
I'd
25.
answer them all. Yeah, I'd be like, "You have 58 texts." I'd be like, "Oh shit." Yeah, Phil says that the red flag law in New York is BS. He was trying to get his FFL and get his gunsmithing license, and they denied him here in New York. Moved to Texas and then got approved. And he's doing his apprenticeship now. So that's super cool. And that's a great way to do it. I generally don't like or recommend any of those gunsmithing schools that you see that are advertised.
The Snoring Dora Institute.
Yeah, especially if they're advertised on YouTube. I mean, I guess that would be fine for someone like I know nothing about guns
Sure.
and I want to
crash
learn
course,
about
yeah.
them. Like those can be useful.
A lot of it's just set up to take GI Bill money.
Of course. Yeah.
And it's very tricky because there are schools that will teach you.
Mhm.
Like there's a school in Pennsylvania that has a good program. There's a vocational college in Colorado that has
Yep.
a good program.
That's a legit
that's the
one.
best one. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
Montgomery Community College down in North Carolina. They have one. There's a program out in Iowa that's partly sponsored by Brownells that
That's
actually
cool.
runs a gun repair shop.
That
So
makes
there are
sense.
programs that will give you a legit training,
Yeah.
but it's tricky how a lot of these places word it, where it's like get certified training from an accredited school.
Right.
It's like, well, you're getting a certificate.
Right.
They'll
Right.
show you some stuff, but
Like you said, to use that GI Bill, you had to put together a nice little package that's sellable and marketable and
Right.
credible and
Right.
Looks
yeah.
good on paper.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know any of those classes. Like you said, I remember going to, I don't know if it was SHOT Show or the Amchar Show, but the school that's in Colorado was there,
Mhm.
and they talked a lot about how like we're not going to really teach you anything about guns. Like we're not going to teach you the history of the 1911 or like how to take apart a Remington
No, it's just
870.
we're going to get
like,
you in the nitty gritty.
you're going to learn machining and how to like
Guess
heat
what?
treat
Guess
and
what?
how
You're going to
to
build
yeah.
a bolt gun from the ground
Yeah,
up by
right.
turning your own
they do
stock.
real work because there was
Right.
that prototype that floated around on the internet of the Halo shotgun, if
Mhm.
you will. The guy that built that was a student there,
Sure.
Oh.
and that's like actual work
Yeah.
to make something.
And it's kind of like with anything where Smith is at the end of it. A lot of it is art, black magic, kind of. That's just
Sure.
gotta do
you're
it.
you're not going to learn it from a school. You have to put the time in. You have to either like apprentice, like
Hands-on.
Phil was saying. The only other one that I know of would be Mark Novak. He's that guy on YouTube
Anvil, yeah.
that works with Iraq Veteran 88, and he is wild. Like he
Yeah, if
came.
you're ever bored and just want to watch some good
Oh man, his videos
that's-
are great. He was an elevator repairman and then moved into
Why
gunsmithing at like the age of 40 or 50 or whatever. And is like, yeah, we sent him that traveling shotgun,
Mm.
that black powder one.
Which there's a video of it.
there is
So
actually.
if
I'm
you
gonna link
go-
that
yeah,
right now.
There's like, we're famous, but like you would never know it's ours, except for we told you.
I think they name dropped that this came from a small gun museum in upstate New York.
Yeah.
Like, I'll take it.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are small.
In an upstate
But our-
New York.
Our hearts, our hearts
Western
are
New York.
large. We're up-ish.
But upstate is always like Hudson Valley.
Here we go.
They're like Western.
6 years ago. That
Dang, yeah.
hurts. That hurts. All right, I can post a comment, right?
Yeah, it should just
Let's see
be
here.
replaced.
Boom! Look at that. So yeah, if you watch that video, that's our shotgun. We still have that shotgun.
Yep.
But we bought it. It was broken, needed a spring made, and yeah, we sent it down to Mark, and he like assessed it and was like, "Oh, I can make a spring," and he made like a leaf spring that worked. And if you watch that video, they even shoot it. So he puts out some crazy content, and he has apprentices I've seen or I've heard like in the background of his videos. He'll take on. I don't know how that works necessarily. Financially, like I'm sure that's an agreement he makes like kind of individually with everybody, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. Chris, does ammo shot on site require a background check? That's a great question. I don't know if I should have taken that question, but that's a great question.
That is a good one.
That is just, I'm just going to leave it at that. That's a great question. No.
Come shoot some ammo and find out.
Just come shoot some ammo. No, our understanding is that if you shoot it on site, you do not leave with it. There is no transfer.
It hasn't left.
Yeah.
There's nothing that's physically leaving. Now, if you shot 49 rounds and you wanted to take a souvenir home, then you bet your bottom dollar.
We come in there. We know.
I'm asking for your social and what you do for work.
How much weigh?
Get in the lock of your hair.
We weigh
known under any other
we have
legal
a
names.
scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, not approximate.
Jason's just out there with a clicker, like 49, 50. Okay.
Right outside the container.
Excuse me. I noticed this weight was different.
So
long as it has not left our property, you're renting, no.
Cool.
Do you pay for the gas when you rent a car or when you go test out a car at a dealership?
Do you?
No.
You're supposed to?
No, you don't.
How long can you keep those cars?
I still have mine.
I keep
getting phone calls. My
My
car's starting to get sun bleached, and I'm really getting sad about that.
Oh, yeah. That UV damage is crazy. Like,
I don't even wear sunscreen.
You should, dude. I had to get some stuff removed. That's why I'm wearing the hat. So it's not. Don't mess with your skin.
I keep being
please.
told that.
UV will go right through your
Seriously,
hair.
don't take your skin for granted. It's
your largest organ.
It really is. And for some people, it's really large.
All right. So we've been cleaning out the shipping containers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got enough space in here finally. Been cleaning those out, and we found some cameras, and we found a SD card. And this is actually original pictures that my wife Anna took during the Virginia rally. As far as I know, these have never been shared, because I think we pretty much came home and we sat on these, and there was enough memes and other people's photos that got posted. It's wild that it's been 5 years. It does not feel like 5 years.
Honestly, feels like longer. I feel like 5 is like
longer.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 years is a long time. Either way, I guess
Like,
you can go.
No, I'm with you.
go.
It's yeah.
So was that before COVID?
That was like
It was-
right at COVID. Like
This
right-
was January
Yeah.
of 2020.
That's when people
Yeah.
start getting it.
So yeah, I don't know why. I just thought it would be funny to go up and take pictures next to police officers that day. So there's this one. Yeah, and then here's some other those were I mean, look at that. Well, look at that guy on the far left.
Yeah. Oh, he was
He's
ready.
got
He's
got a lot of zip cuffs. Yeah. And it's actually funny. That guy hit me up.
Golly.
That guy hit me up on Facebook, and we're still like Facebook friends, me and that cop.
That's cool.
Like, yeah. So there's that one. And then this is me. This is pretty much how my entire day went that day. People would come up, they would take a picture, their buddy would come over, shake my hand, and then like there's a reporter there. They're like waiting to interview me. And I look so stupid. Like I had this helmet on, and that's like a real Kevlar helmet. So it weighed a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And it was January. And okay, it's only it's Virginia, but it's still cold. Like it was still like 30 or 40 degrees out that day. So I had like a beanie on under the helmet, and it just made my head look stupid. Like so many people would make fun, like in the comments, the people that were mean to me.
Oh, 4,200.
They had a giant come and take it flag that was like, I don't know, 10 by 20 maybe. So obviously it has a Barrett 50 cal on the thing. And so I was like 100 yards away, and everyone was like, bro, you gotta come over. And I was just like going nuts. And I was like, what? And they were like pointing at me and pointing at the flag. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll do it. So I went and took a picture in front of that. And then, there's another. Here's the police van. Here I am, derpy derp. This was like, I think right at the beginning of the day. And you can see, if you look closely, I'm wearing a backpack and I have like fleece on my backpack. Like it was cold. And I don't know, the mood leading up to that event, it was wild. I don't remember if the ranchers, who were the ranchers that held off the government? Like somewhat recently, there was like a huge, like out west, there were these ranchers that were trying to do some stuff, and the government wanted them off the land.
You're talking about in like the 90s?
No. Within the past 10 years,
okay,
I would say. It wasn't the Alamo. It wasn't that long.
It
was Daniel Boone and Jim Crockett. No, there were ranchers out west. Someone in the comments is going to rescue me. There was ranchers out west, and
Yellowstone. It was the Duttons.
The Duttons.
1873.
Yellowstone
Yeah.
Dutton Ranch.
Harrison Ford.
I can't remember if it was right before or after this. It had to have been before this because obviously it's long enough that none of us remember this. But there was a standoff that lasted, I want to say like a month, where these ranchers were supposed to. Anyways, people felt like this was going to be the line in the sand, and Virginia was going to pass these gun laws, and basically all the people of Virginia were saying no, and it was going to be, I don't know. There was the potential for things, I don't want to say to pop off, because I don't think that was, if that was a realistic scenario, I wouldn't have gone. But it was kind of like, if there's enough of us that show up, they can't gun us all down in the streets. So we had like medical supplies. Everyone was like kitted out. Like I'm wearing my plates. Like Anna, my wife, was there. It was the Bundy standoff. I was thinking about the Bundys at 8 people. I didn't think it was the right ones, but yeah, it was. It was a Bundy. When was that?
That's the Bundy handoff. There's a difference.
So I think that's the last Virginia picture. And then if we go to the last picture that I sent over there, that was literally like the day after we came back from Virginia. We went on a 2-week cruise. Like we did a cruise booked for like a year that my parents took like my whole family on. And so we go, we do this thing in Virginia. We come home. We have like one day at home, and we got on a plane. We were gone. We were like incommunicado for 2 weeks. Like I brought a satellite phone, and I would check in with you guys just to like check in. But otherwise, I like was incommunicado, and then I come back, and I was like, wow, like that circulated. Like I'm
a meme.
Became a meme. Yeah. Like, all right, that's cool. I don't know how I feel about that, but. So yeah, I've got more that I'm going to be going through and uploading, and I'm sure we'll be sharing some cool ones, but those are just some of the fun ones I saw right off the bat that I wanted to share. On the little past the 5-year anniversary, but pretty close. 5 year and 2 month. I think it was January 20th.
Oh,
I think.
Sounds right.
Maybe it was January 6th. No, I think it was the 20th.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was the 20th.
Gulp.
don't.
Gulp. 2014. Okay, yeah. So the Bundy, you guys were all just babies. You don't remember, but yeah, these ranchers were like.
I was in college.
I want to say these ranchers were like leasing, or they had always been able to use this like federal land, and then the government just like changed the deal,
Like,
as the government
you owe us money
loves to do. Yeah,
from
By the way, we
past.
should-
yeah.
Ooh,
And then the ranchers were just like, no, and then like. The sheriff showed up and they were like, get off the land. Or maybe it was like
Get off
the
our
BLM,
land.
the federal, whoever runs the
Bureau of
BLM,
Land Management.
and they were just like, no. They were like, well, yes. And the ranchers were like,
No.
and then they brought like the SWAT team out. But then by that time, like 200 other ranchers came out, like all armed. And then there was like, I don't want to say 1,000 people, but there was like, it became a thing. There was just like people from all over the country just drove and were like, nah, man, like, this isn't going to be another Ruby Ridge or whatever this could turn into. Like, we're not going to let it happen. Or another Waco, like, not going to let it happen. So, yes, I think that was kind of in people's mind leading up to the Virginia thing. And it was kind of a similar, like, not going to happen. I'll never forget, like, I was standing there in the crowd, and then a squad of, like, 10 dudes, all with, like, matching, like, they had, like, the same reflective tape, like, armbands. They all had, like, radios. They were, like, a squad. And they were from ARFCOM, and they had like organized these meetups, and they had like 5 or 6 different like squads of dudes, like all in different areas. They all had like team leaders and like comms, and like they were like prepared. And the leader of the one,
they were excited.
the leader of the one that like I ran into, like he's like sweet, like looking at me with the Barrett, and I'm like looking at him with like a squad of dudes like moving in unison and stuff. And I'm like, I'm gonna stick with you guys. And I see he's got an M4 of some kind with an underbarrel grenade launcher, and I see he's got like
Stuff.
grenades, and I was like, are those? He's like, yeah, they're destructive devices. Like those were actual like 40 millimeter.
Jesus.
I don't know if they were grenades per
Yeah,
se, probably
but they
just
were.
smoke. But each one of those was a registered destructive device. Like I was like, I forgot I'm in the South. Like,
It's a lot
very
more
cool.
acceptable.
Yes, yeah,
Rock and roll.
yeah. Water rights and eminent domain. Eminent domain. Eminent domain. I think eminent.
Well, it's
domain.
basically one of those things where it's like the government's
Eminence
like,
front.
you can use the land, then all of a sudden they decide, oh, we need it now.
Wait, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that was wild. And I think that everything just didn't ever just like one day just pack up and go home. Like I don't think anything ever happened. They were just like, all right,
Still.
whatever. Just leave. What else we got? Freedom Weekend, June 21st and
Yeah,
22nd.
we're always looking for more vendors.
Yep.
If you, I don't think we have like music fully picked out yet, but maybe we'll do a battle of the bands. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be
Me.
fun.
I'll bring my Guitar Hero. Kick all your asses.
Uh,
The play on expert. Do we want to? We can. Are
Do
we-
it.
are we-
do
Yeah.
it. Do
So
it.
I don't. Did you guys talk about anything cool last stream?
The Shadow 2.
Yeah.
okay.
Or the,
Oh,
the
so-
compact.
so no.
The Shadow 2 compact.
So
Nothing.
Old
Yeah.
news.
yeah,
Lame.
back in 2017, there was a company called Hudson. They came out with a pistol called the Hudson 9 or H9. In 2019, a mere 2 years later, they filed for bankruptcy for basically not into. We're not going to get into the whole history of it, but they kind of bit off more than they could chew. They had a really cool idea. It was kind of to reinvent the 1911 in a way that is now a striker-fired pistol. Circle now to 2025, 2024, really realistically. Daniel Defense took the Hudson H9 and came out with their own idea. They did the Daniel Defense H9. So it is not the true Hudson design. They shortened the mag. They went from 17 round capacity to a 15. The biggest issue is they took a 59. I think it was a 5906 Smith mag. What's that?
Contrast against
If anyone can see it.
There you go.
Use your Google machines. Type in Daniel Defense H9 so you can look at what I'm looking at right now.
So passive aggressive. I love
Do
it.
it.
Is that passive aggressive?
Just Google it.
No,
I
look
love
at your
it.
Google machines.
Let me Google that for
The
you.
Google Masters, the Jeeves. Ask Jeeves. Just a really, really cool low bore axis, double stack 9mm.
Do you remember? Did anyone get an original Hudson through here? Like, do you remember ever transferring one?
I never transferred.
I don't remember seeing
I
one.
handled it because that actually 2017 was my first SHOT Show. So I distinctly remember holding the original Hudson and
That's
thinking,
cool.
this is the future. And then 2 years in the future, it ended up not happening, which was a bummer. Unfortunately, Daniel has not come out with a 10-round version yet, and these magazines that they have are not
They're weird.
compatible with anything else because you have such a low bore axis and your mag release is so high up that it ends up being almost close to the actual end of the feed lip to the magazine, so they couldn't design. I'm sure they will have 10-rounders in the future for basically every state but us. It kind of works out, but we are blocking the mags. We're making sure that they are truly 10-rounders. This one is for sale. So if you are interested in or just want to come check out, we have a couple more coming that will be test fireable. I could even use this one as a test fire one if you want, and then you can lock down the ones that are coming in. Merely $1,200. And this could be used. Yours. You get cool hard case, 2 mags with the gun. Since this is a fully metallic handgun shy of the actual frame, there's some plastic on the inside that holding the trigger group. You're able to change out your back straps and your side straps, kind of like a 1911. It's, I don't know, I guess more or less a RoboCop.
Yeah.
KE Arms was the company I was trying to think of a few streams ago, if you remember the last time we talked about the Hudson. So Hudson went from being Hudson. Then when they went out of business, there was a company called KE Arms that bought all of the remaining inventory of them.
The one that Ian ended up working with, and then did the one piece.
The same one who makes the
polymer lower.
what would
Okay.
Stoner do rifles.
Cool.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. So
Yeah.
there was a transitional period, and then I don't know if they owned the rights and necessarily sold them to Daniel, or if like Hudson still owned the rights and had KE Arms fulfilling them, and then Hudson sold it to Daniel.
So this
is this Daniel's
not,
own thing?
This is not a Hudson.
There's like one part.
Yeah, and it's the
Sure.
it's the mag release, and the mag release has even changed.
Did
as
they
well.
buy the rights, or did they just?
They bought like the whole thing.
I think they bought like the technical data packs and said,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
this is how it failed. Let's change
Sure,
it.
I know they
So
re-engineered it, but
Yeah, they
must have bought the
the-
rights to it.
yeah,
of
the
course, right?
the
Yeah.
concept and idea
I see it.
is still there. So they went from a 17 to 15. Since the 5906 mags is where they took like the original idea from, there's a thing on a lot of these double stack pistols where you can over insert the mag, which means if you have your slide locked open and you insert the mag, it can go push past, and then you end up inducing malfunctions because the magazine's past where the actual round's going to sit, where you have issues with that. They had a grip safety like a 1911, which this does not have. They took the 1911 trigger where it's that straight pull through and reversed the safety on it, which is kind of cool. So it's like I guess for lack of better words, like a hinge style safety, but it's upside down. So it can all fit on top of itself. Low bore axis, which means your felt recoil is actually in the palm of your hand rather than kind of being flicky on the top of your hand. What else is super?
Have you shot one of these yet?
I have not shot any of them yet, no. But just the way it feels,
It's very
and
comfortable.
Yeah.
how it sits in my hand, I like it a lot. It's optics cut. It comes from the factory with a fiber optic sight, which this dovetail, I believe, I did research on it. Daniel doesn't outright say it, but I think it is a P365 dovetail.
It's like the P320, P226 XD
Sights,
standard
slides, and everything like
dovetail.
that. Yeah, she is hot, and for $1,200, for something that I know no one really has, it's cool. I mean, it's an aluminum framed metal gun, so maybe competitive shooting. It is the perfect Glock 19 size, so defensive carry. Yeah, just send it.
Range toy.
Yeah,
Cold hammer forged barrel.
Yeah,
Which
Daniel makes
I would-
manual barrels.
I would be shocked if Dale Defense did not do that.
Is that common for a handgun?
No,
I didn't
not
think so.
No,
Most of them are button rifle blanks.
So that's cool.
Yeah, and Daniel bought everything thinking that they could just basically make guns. They didn't. They thought it was mostly financial issues. They did not anticipate having to re-engineer it.
Because it was a couple of years, right?
It was.
a good couple of years.
2021.
Well, because then even when they
20
released it, they did an initial run that still had some ammo
some
sensitivity.
issues.
So then they re-released it.
Yeah, they.
So yeah, this could be yours. We offer layaway, 25% down, and it's from Black Creek, Georgia.
They sell holsters for it too.
So if you like Black Creek Park in New York, why wouldn't you? wanna-
It's a nice mag.
It's a solid magazine.
Plate.
I really, really like it.
I'd like to see some different iterations of it too. Like, okay, this is Gen 1, or this is like
I
the
think-
first one they come out with.
I
Like,
think this was smart for them to go for the compact.
Sure.
Because then they can go bigger. Then they can start saying, okay, the weight is now going to change. Maybe if we start porting it, maybe we can turn this into like a race gun. I think right now this is the
Glock
perfect.
mags.
I'm sure they
Yeah.
did this on purpose because of the design and how
Yeah.
high that met. Like they definitely intentionally made
it would be cool to see like a race gun version of this. Like, okay, there's the
Yeah.
there's the CZ75, then there's the fucking the Shadow 2. Like,
Or the Laugo
Let's-
or the Laugo pistol. Just like
Yeah. let's see the.
I do.
Is that a unique?
Lago doesn't make a cheap one though.
Well,
They're just
they
expensive
made
and more
a
expensive.
carry version, which allegedly
Dude, it's
it's still like
launch edition is
$2,500, isn't it?
No, the launch edition is like $6,000.
Oh, so
Dude, like the
Is that a
cheapest-
proprietary mag?
yes, yeah. I said this is because the way the mag release is so.
Was the
high up
original
on the-
Hudson proprietary too?
They took it from a 5906.
You said that.
I think they just recut the
Yeah.
mag catch. It's like the same tube.
Kind of like a like an AR-18 with an AR magazine.
Oh.
It's a different mag cut, but it's the same like body idea. Body. I love the lines on this too.
It is. It's just.
Yeah, Dale
It's
Defense
a great desk gun.
meets Hudson meets the Hotel 9. The Hotel Niner.
It's a
I like
deep
it.
undercut. Wow. Kind of looks like a good kill tech.
A good Kel-Tec.
Yeah. Like just the outline.
Kel-Tec is a metal frame gun. It's
It looks
Is that a good-
like they're plastic.
Yeah,
it's
it's like
something.
it's like the 22 mag that we have.
Any
it's the
questions
PF9
from-
or something.
the beautiful people.
No, nothing. Phil just says that they should acquire the SIG 320 and fix that.
Maybe.
Ooh, on 320 day.
Maybe.
There we go. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, today is 320.
I saw School of the American Rifle put out like a be careful today. It's 320.
Yep. Don't fall.
Yeah.
Don't fall. Don't stub your toe.
Didn't Taurus just put out an ad that like kind of slammed SIG for the way they've been handling all this?
Dang,
I feel like they put out like I saw something.
You know
on,
you fucked
that's
up
on
bad.
when
Instagram. When,
that's
yeah, like,
bad.
Oh,
When a company with
yeah. When
breakable
Taurus fucking
Yeah.
slams
guns,
you.
you're fucked.
Taurus is doing really good. Dime. What a glow!
I mean-
what a glow up story.
Yeah.
They did. Taurus had the GX4 that would fire when dropped, but they didn't
Yep.
recall it.
And they fixed it quick.
Yeah.
Instantly. Yeah.
I think
to be fair, SIG has
It
a
is-
fix for that one issue.
yeah.
I think
If you have to put a whole website up though to
Multiple posts and
like backpedal, I don't know. Just recall the whole damn thing. I don't
they
know.
can't, dude. They've got
they're so
got the
deep.
military contract.
That's true.
They're so
Yeah.
deep.
I don't think they can afford
The
it.
new M68 frag grenade.
At least the 365 is good.
Sure.
So good.
They should just keep making two.
And Taurus, like, if you ever had a problem with a Taurus, you got a lemon like out of the box, and like they would fix it.
Right. They just
and then,
sold
like,
lemons.
if you had one that ran, they were always fine. Like,
Except for the what is it? The PT 111 that like act like you could shoot it like a Nambu, where you like if you squeezed it wrong and it
Was
was
it the Millenniums?
the
or-
Millenniums. Yeah,
Well,
the
there
hammer
was
fires.
like Brazilian police or whatever.
I remember seeing that video.
So they
Yeah,
could
yeah.
just go off.
because
So we had a customer who had one, and he said that it went off on him. Like he had it in the holster, and they like gave it back to him. Like, oh well, you know,
Whatever year
I'm surprised they gave it back. They're like, here, we'll give you a Taurus curve now.
well, no. So what happened was,
Oh,
I
Taurus
think it was
curve.
taken as part of an investigation,
Oof.
and then they gave it back to him. He's like, "What do you mean? I don't want this back."
Yeah.
I would have
Kill me.
loved. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall, like during the development and like the board meetings about the Taurus curve.
Taurus curve.
Yes.
Like, where was the market research on that? Like, where was any of the? Do we still have one? I know we had one for a while. I think we got rid of
I
it
don't think
after
we
the fire.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sold. I think,
Yeah.
a lot after the fire.
That was just such a. Like, I was at the SHOT Show when that was announced,
Fascinating.
and I was just like, "Wow!" I mean, I can see how we got here, but like, at what point you just said that this is stupid?
how
This isn't gonna
far
work.
we've fallen from
This ain't gonna
grace.
work. Yeah, ain't gonna work.
I
I think
Dick
whatever
Hander,
you're
I
the,
used to sling the crap out of those.
Really?
Things. Oh,
Yeah?
No, you don't need a bodyguard. You need a Taurus curve.
I mean, the original bodyguard was terrible.
yeah.
Better than Taurus curve was way better.
Oh, at least you could hold
Taurus
it.
curve, you could have. You
At least
you
the
didn't have a
bodyguard
built-in.
like,
Not
fit
only
the human hand.
you didn't have
It
a
was too small.
built-in
Wow.
laser.
The new
you had a
one's-
built-in
the new one's better.
flashlight, which I thought was sweet. The curve was
Yes.
like the first one to ever
Yeah.
have like a built-in flashlight for a handgun, which was like actually pretty revolutionary.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
was
I remember, like, I think when the Judge came out, I think that was kind of the turning point
For Taurus,
for Taurus, like in the positive way. Like, they were kind of just like, okay, they make. I don't want to say junk, but like they make what they make, and it's kind of
Mhm.
it is what it is.
lower end.
And then it was like, all right, now they make the Judge, and now it's kind of like that's just a fun
Yeah, like
gun.
No, everybody
that's
loves the
like-
judge.
Yeah,
We
or
did.
like the Circuit Judge.
We had
like,
an old, like original Judge come through recently,
Yeah.
like blued ones.
Uh-huh.
That was a really nice.
They're
gun.
attractive. They're very
like the original Judge is
Yeah.
a super nice. gun.
glossy.
They're still well made. It's just the original finish was really nice.
Phil says this is what happens when you stop giving engineers blow. Substandard efficiency.
Keltec.
Yeah, Caltech's never stopped. George Kelgren just.
What if
Another
we kept the magazine and the gun?
The old ways are better.
less moving parts.
It's like, what if instead, when people ask about getting a clip with a gun, they made a gun that takes a clip?
Give the people what they want. Put the stendo in the gun.
Stop asking dumb questions. Gives dumb answer.
Good night, Jim. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, my friend. I can't wait to have. I really do want to try this out with like the studio audience. I do think that'll be fun. I think we'd have a lot of fun with that.
Popcorn.
Honestly, a popcorn machine would be so sick.
You standing there with like an applause sign, like
Tell them to
applause sign
for
and
us.
a gun, like applaud.
Allegedly.
Alleged in Minecraft.
It's Terraria now. The Minecraft servers have been taken
The
over.
Lego
Oh my
Fortnite.
Honestly, dude, it's a fun game. I thought I would never play Fork Knife, and here I am.
It's the best.
No,
If you're
don't.
not
Careful.
good, you're bad.
Is that
If you're not first, you're last. Yeah.
We've gone over this. If Jason ever taught trap shooting classes, it would just be good, don't suck.
Don't suck.
There we go.
Be
That's
good.
kind of my.
Well,
yeah,
that's what
like-
Magpul did. They did the suck less. Like that was back in 2014 or 15. They did like a whole
When they
suck
had
less.
they had the whole DVD series.
Just
back
don't be
Yep.
the way of the rifle or whatever. It
Yeah.
was all like samurai stuff.
Don't be
Yeah.
bad, and
With,
you will be good.
then. Travis Haley.
Travis
Oh.
Haley. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
you gotta be think about kinesthetic. Is it kinematics?
I don't care.
Sure.
Yes.
It's Travis.
He says a lot of words, big words.
So we got our first actual question of the night. Which is better, Caltech or High Point?
High
Caltech.
Point. High Point will last longer.
What was the question? Sorry.
Caltech or High Point?
Caltech.
What's the purpose?
Yeah.
What weapon?
It doesn't matter because
Which is better?
Caltech is gonna blow that out of the water no matter what.
Both great American-made companies.
Now, High Point is really good at what they do,
Yeah, it's just High Point only does one thing. Caltech does
whereas
everything.
Caltech actually makes innovative.
They have an option for everything
Caltech actually makes rifles that can be state compliant.
That is true.
very quickly.
That is-
Yeah.
It
It's
is
very
interesting
convenient.
how, say, like a company like High Point, I don't want to pick on them, but say a company like Just Right Carbine also,
Mhm.
they stay in their lane.
Mhm.
This is what we make.
Yep.
And sure, like every year for SHOT Show, we're going to come out with a new color or a new, like now we have optics cut ones, which
They
is
make it cheap.
hilarious or whatever, but 100%.
So,
Um,
affordable. Sorry.
I know we should get Tony in here someday to do like an interview on the stream. I remember like it was pretty shockingly low, the number of guns. I won't say it, but it was in like the four figures of like how many guns are needed to just like keep the lights
To
on,
justify. Yeah.
keep everybody paid, keep the investors happy. Like, could we do more? Sure, but like this is acceptable to everyone. And I was like, that's it. Like that's really all you need. Like it wasn't that many
I
guns.
don't
Like
think that the High Points are actually optics cut. I think they came out with a Picatinny rail that replaces the rear sight.
It's true.
is that what it is?
That's why there's a lot of aims on those things
You can
and a lot of
you can
T2s
mount that
and
right
yeah.
on the.
There's a lot of
I love it.
TTs.
I love it. Yeah, I would generally take
Times
even an
cost.
older. I would even take an older Keltec. What was before Keltec? Grendel.
Grendel.
I think I would even take a Grendel over a High Point. I
or the
really
OG
would.
Tech 9
Yeah,
that he worked on.
he did do those, didn't
He
he?
did.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
tech.
Although that's not to knock High Point.
No,
I've
High
seen some
Points are
cool.
No.
great.
I'm just looking at it as a whole.
Sure.
High Point
Yeah.
doesn't offer anything compared to what
They pretty
Caltech
much
does.
have their pistol or their rifle.
Yeah.
Like.
Or their pistol that you can shoulder.
Yeah.
the same.
Right.
It's
Yes.
the-
It's
it's
their
the
pistol
same,
that you
yeah.
can shoulder.
Do you
Yeah.
want it in a small caliber or 10 mil?
I feel like
Yeah,
they.
45.
I feel like they just make the rifles, and then like if
Because
there's
they
a
have the-
defect in the rifle, they just like cut it down, and now it's a handgun. Like,
Well, they did that. They put a Picatinny on the back, and because they made the pistol.
Oh, yeah,
the-
'cause they
the-
Yeah.
But it's only like 14 inches because they didn't cut the hand.
yeah, they didn't want to change the hand yet. So
That's great.
pin it well, and you're back to normal.
If you need a gun in a High Point's all you can afford, you know it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, they do the job.
It won't not work.
Now here's the question: who gets more trace requests?
High Point.
Caltech.
Think so?
I'm gonna say
I think
Okay, are we throwing? Are we gonna throw Taurus?
yeah, just sorry.
I know
Same
we've
thing.
had people come
Are
in
we gonna
here
throw the same
about.
thing? We should pick. We should do that stat. Like
Do you
of
remember?
all the
It's
guns
gonna
we've
make
had,
me so sad.
Do you
all the
remember when
guns
those
that we've
I
had.
think it's a brand, maybe Taurus, but as a single
gun?
model,
Sure.
probably High Point.
Then we got to do it like per
Fair.
capita, or like
What about
like,
those?
there's a lot more Tauruses out there than High
We
Points
have-
or Caltex.
we
Like,
have-
Well, all right. What about go
customers-
back? So you're saying like what was Caltech before Caltech?
What about
Brendel, wasn't it?
But what was High Point before High Point? It was Orkin. Or,
Was it?
Orkin? ORCIN.
That sounds familiar.
I'm
Or-
sure
I didn't know
there's
that,
a bunch
though.
of 40 cal Glocks though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're cheap.
And then like as a
Right.
category, probably lowers
Lorson.
stand on their own.
Lorson.
Lorson. Yeah. Those were junk. Hi
Um,
Nate. Hi Nate.
That's why they.
Hi Nate.
That's
why
so
they
loud.
chose High Point,
Oh yeah.
because they were reaching a new high.
Car.
No,
They actually
Car's
got
good.
reliable.
cars now just
Is that really it?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. you had
ordinance.
you had
and
me.
research.
You had me.
Hello, Nate.
That would be fun. That would be a fun
What's that?
stat to crunch. Just like
oh yeah,
I think as a category probably lowers, right? Is
Sure.
is the
Rifles and
most
stuff,
common
yeah.
one. Yeah. Yeah. It's always fun when you see a bust on the news and the guy has not that kind of bust. When you see someone get arrested on the news and their ammo can has every one of your stickers that have ever
Every
been sold.
single one with our branded name.
Oof.
I wish it just. It's not even the first time.
No.
It
No,
keeps
it actually
happening.
isn't.
It keeps
No, yeah, it
happening.
happens a lot.
Uh,
Yeah.
hey,
Whatever.
Free stickers to a good home.
Yeah, we do say to a good home.
Good home.
Yeah.
Good
Like,
home.
if you're gonna give the stickers to a bad home, they're not free.
yeah. Don't do that.
Nate, we were already making fun of your Shadow 2 compact earlier. It's all right.
Well, no, he
He just got.
You got a shadow too.
Oh, okay. I thought you got the
he's out there racing.
No, yeah.
Is he?
Doing the racing. guns.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's true.
Yeah, Nate, one of our longtime friends and customers, and has recently gotten into the competitive shooting scene. It seems like.
Seems like quick. Yep.
I've stayed away because everyone I know that's gone is like that was the most fun I've ever had, and like that's all they do now is competitive shoot. I just don't have the space.
Yeah, I don't know
for
if
it.
I can afford that.
I don't have the time. Yeah,
It is definitely a time suck for sure.
I would love to do it. It's a lot of money.
it's
Well,
a lot.
It doesn't have to be, but I know how I would do it.
It's going to be. Yeah.
But competition is alive and well, even though we're here in New York. Almost every night of the week, there's
Something.
either a practice or a league night or a match on the weekends. There's something called Hose Fest in September that's supposed to be a huge event down at Brooks that we're going to be sponsoring. Yeah, super fun, super cool. Actually, our two sponsored shooters, like the two heads of our shooting team,
Yeah.
Kevin and Matt, they like put on a shoot at Brooks, like their group.
Yeah.
Cool.
They call it Hose Fest,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
like garden hose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're just hosing targets with
Yeah.
lead.
With all that.
And it sounds
hot
like
lead.
hose, like HO''S.
Like Santa.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah. As you guys debating setting up some kind of weekly shoot. Yeah. Once we're fully back up and running, we're gonna try to pick a night of the week that doesn't already have a shoot night on it and do one here. Obviously, we're gonna be kind of limited. We only have one range, with it's only 25 feet wide. It's only 25 yards long, but I think we can come up with some pretty cool drills, even if it's just
Even if it's
practicing.
not official. It's
Matt
just
Right.
some
was
stuff
telling
to
us.
run.
Matt came in and he was talking to us about how he would help, like totally help set that
100%. Yeah, I know he's dying for that.
Yep.
Him and Kevin continue to just dominate
up. Mm-hmm.
the local region. I saw a couple they posted the standings from one of the matches, and I think Kevin was number one again.
Yeah.
Sounds.
I want to say, usually
Pretty Bob Puffer course.
pretty par for the course. Yeah.
Kevin gotta go fast.
Phil asks about a European style outdoor range. No updates on that, but that's definitely if we were to do it, that's how we would do it. Either dig one of those like tunnels like I've shown
Yeah.
before, or kind of like almost like a trench style
trench, yeah.
pit. Yeah, with baffles.
Blue sky, but you'd have to like want
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
something.
So I don't know. I've also thought of like partnering up with just like the Virgin Rod and Gun Club somehow, and
Sure.
and just
Sponsoring.
it's already there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, can
They have
we,
a rifle range.
put some flyers here, and it's like maybe if you're a member of the Firing Pin, you can join over there for a cheaper price or something, or just some type of collab. I don't know.
They do open
Um,
shoots.
They do,
Sometimes.
yeah, especially for trap.
Pay for like 2 lanes. Like these are now ours.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Sad.
That'd be cool. Yeah, just crunching away every day. We're getting closer. We've got basically 3 months till Freedom Weekend, so that's coming up quick.
It really is.
Excited about that, and yeah, just excited to be over in this building like fully, and not in that temporary building. It's crazy too, since we put the nice doors on. So many more people are just coming over here because they see those nice
think
doors
it's
and they're
open.
like, oh, it's got to
Yeah.
be ready to go.
Got to take them back off.
Seriously though.
I feel very nostalgic about the like temporary doors that we had on. Like when I was taking them down, I almost got like sad a little bit, and
Yeah.
I put them
The wood.
aside like in
With
the
the
back,
bungee?
and I was
Just
like,
in
we gotta figure out like a spot to use these. Like I have no idea where we would ever use them, but
the burn pile.
it's just like the men's stall, like for the urinal or
Just
whatever.
like-
Like just
That would work.
unfinished plywood, like just
It's waterlogged.
just ugh.
What's that smell?
Ugh. When I bought Polar Wave 6 years ago, when we first took it over, like we were walking around taking a tour of everything, and they had this bathroom trailer, and it was an old
Oh, heck
construction like foreman trailer, and it had a wood, like not even like plywood, like OSB floor that they had put carpeting over.
yeah.
And then that's bad enough.
Oh,
in
no.
obviously in any men's room, it's terrible.
Yeah. That,
But then it was a winter, like it was snow tubing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's
Wet,
what Polar
yeah.
Wave was. So people would come in with their wet, snow-covered boots and just ruin. I mean, you couldn't even walk in there. It would just every footstep would just fall through the floor, fall through the frame, fall through the rust. Like it was. We took that entire trailer down to the frame of nothing because it was so roached. Yes, Nate, thank you for reminding us. We're gonna have a cool bike run Sunday for Freedom Weekend.
Mhm.
So if you are a motorcycle rider, you do that, right?
Motors.
Motorcycle.
Motorcycles.
Yeah.
Can cyclists join?
If you can pedal fast enough.
How
I
far is
think.
it?
Isn't it like 50 miles? Don't they go
Yeah.
from like?
Can I draft behind you?
Don't
Hold
they go to
on.
like? Yeah.
Yeah.
You have some quads of steel, bro.
Yeah.
That'd be wild.
I
Do
do
it.
need to
You
do
have to
that.
start early.
Yeah, I'll start
Yes,
Friday.
we don't have that fully like signups or anything yet. But if you're interested, reach out to us and we'll get you
It's gonna happen.
the answers.
Are we gonna do a biker shirt again?
Yeah,
We have to, right?
most likely gonna probably.
That was the coolest one we had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Still is.
It's true.
Should get a motorcycle.
I should.
I should,
Yeah.
so I could partake.
I'll buy the sidecar. If you buy the motorcycle,
Meep meep.
I'll buy the.
I'm gonna get a Honda Gram, and you're gonna be.
Oh,
I'm gonna get a
we
Papio.
wouldn't move. We wouldn't move. It would just
Do you know-
rev and.
Have you seen a Papio?
They're small.
Look
I know a Grom is small. What is it called?
Papio.
How do you spell it?
Nope.
Pop.
Pop. Yep.
Yo.
Pop-
P-O-P-Y-O. I don't know.
Pop-
Papio?
Papio.
That's not what you think it is. I don't think.
Motorcycle.
Papio. Oh, look at that little thing. 126 cc. Yeah, that's
She's screaming.
maybe when I was in middle school.
Oh, I should get one of those like Coleman
Papio.
camp like those little motor.
What?
You
The
know
Coleman
Coleman
coolers that
Yeah.
they put a little.
No, like
outboard
they
on.
have the two little fat wheeler,
Oh, look at that little thing. Yeah, that's small.
or I could get an e-bike
I want to get an e-bike.
or like electric dirt bikes. Those are sick.
So cool.
I do like. Is it Zero? They make a electric motorcycle.
Look at
There's a
Zero.
lot.
They have like a premium subscription that locks out features.
I don't like that.
Like,
That's not cool.
I don't think you can back up. You can't back up. You can't use the heated grips. You can't use fast charging. Circuitry's the same. Like, you have to pay for an upgrade package.
I don't like any
Monthly?
of that.
That's
I
crazy.
don't like any
And
of
if
that.
you sell it, the new owner doesn't get the features that you paid for.
I don't like any of that.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I get why companies do it.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that. That was the same when we were deep into the radios. It was the same thing. Like all these Motorola's, they come off the line exactly the same. But what features did you pay to unlock? And like, yeah.
Right.
And Phil, I used to own Polar Wave. I owned Polar Wave for about 5 years. That was going to be our tactical outdoor range. It was 22 acres. We were going through the processes. And then the local neighbors just kind of turned against us. You'd think I was putting up a solar farm or windmills, and they just went nuts and they protested it. And I definitely could have fought and hired a lawyer and pushed it through, but that's just not me. That's not my personality. I didn't want to be the guy that everybody hated, like in the neighborhood, and always like trying to connive against me to get me closed down or whatever.
They were
like,
all worried about noise right next to the
yeah, I wasn't keen on investing any more money into the property when it was like every year I'd have to go to the town and fight for a special use permit that they could just pull. And it's like, okay, well, I just sunk $500,000 into this place and I got to operate for 1 year and now I got to do whatever. And then the fire happened like right after that summer that I made that decision. So I was kind of just like sitting on Polar Wave and it was like, all right, like, I've got some friends that all chip in and they help me pay for the taxes and then they can shoot out there whenever they want and do whatever they want to do out there. But then, yeah, the fire happened and it was kind of just serendipitous that a guy asked to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, like, here's what I would need for it. And it worked out. And so I don't own it anymore. So now the guy who owns the go-kart track owns Polar Wave.
Which go-kart track?
right next
So
to it.
there used to be like there still is. There's Area 51, the motocross track.
Oh, okay.
Then there's
Gotcha.
Polar Wave. Then there was a go-kart track. The next one, it was called Kelly's Raceway.
Gotcha.
And that had been there since like the mid 90s, I want to say. And then probably mid 2000s or like early teens. No, probably mid 2000s went defunct. And it just been abandoned for like 15 some years. And it was caught in some like international bankruptcy or whatever. And then finally the
'cause
county
the guy,
seized it.
I thought I heard
Yeah.
like the guy was like Canadian or
Something
something.
like that. Yeah.
His kid wanted to do it or something like that. Yeah.
Zach says to get a Grom and just carry it.
Yeah. Right.
It'd be faster. Was he here yesterday on a bike? I saw a really cool bike here yesterday, and I didn't see. No, it was Zach. Was Zach here at all yesterday?
No, I know Darnell showed up on his bike.
He
If
did.
Zach
Or was he
showed
here
up-
maybe the day before?
Zach
I
probably
saw
showed
a
up.
really cool bike that was like
If
that's
it was a really cool bike, it was probably Zach.
probably Zach's. Yeah, I love his the rust bucket one. I don't know what.
Oh,
he
Matt
did.
Max bike.
Yeah, I love that one. That's like classic, just super cool.
Classic hog.
Nate says we look more like Vespa type of dudes.
Oh, heck
Just-
yeah.
A Metropolitan.
You should just get segways.
I don't even ride the Vespa. I'm the passenger on a Vespa. I just hold on.
With your legs off the side.
Like a
You know what you
horse.
should get,
Oh.
Brandon, is one of the year-old motorcycles, the sidecar bikes,
That'd be cool.
because those are actually two-wheel drive. The sidecar wheel is driven.
That's pretty cool.
We should get a limo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go for two different.
That would just be fun.
My dad's always liked those trike bicycles. I don't know why.
The slingshots.
No, like a
No,
Harley, but
he
the
means-
trike.
Oh, an actual.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
makes
okay.
sense. Makes a lot of sense.
It's a very boomer
Yep.
type of bike. Yeah.
I had a tricycle once.
Big
was like
wheels.
5.
The old big wheels.
It was so sad. I was so excited. It was a nice summer day. I went to go sit on it and ride it in the driveway. I sat down and it split into like 8 pieces.
Oh.
And that
My
was when you knew
things!
that you'd grown out of it.
Yeah.
We had a. We
Changed
actually had
it around.
three-wheelers.
And then I went to
Just the other
college.
day.
I had my own license plate with
Oh.
my name on it
Just
on
in
my
time.
little 3-wheeler.
The small one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to like get the stickers to put your name on it, kind of
Yep.
a thing, but it's still.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well.
this has been a stream. Yeah. The Firing Pin Live.
Thick and long.
Hello.
don't. You're just supposed to sit there.
Oh,
Look good.
yeah. I'm a alternate.
Yeah, Tyler, you haven't said much this stream. Good times. All right. Bye, everybody. Good night, Virgin.